Maybe that should be the way to go, right? Where instead of just building an astroturf for astroturf purposes, have a team.
Well, I think the difference between what he does and what others have done, and let me also say that somebody like the Nswatraman guy, the employment minister.
Yes, Ignatius.
There's his buffalo. He also has a team.
He has a team.
His
Haruna
club is
has a team.
Nswatraman
Yes.
is
He also has. He has two. In fact, he has two facilities. He has a full astro park.
capacity.
I don't know the capacity, but he has a full one next to the main park that have been.
Where do they host their games?
In Swatre.
They're playing in Swatre.
So this is near Sunyai.
Yes, in the constituency.
So the stadium can accommodate people enough.
Then there's Haruna, who has Steadfast and Karela.
Karela is in Western region.
He's moved it up north.
Once he bought it, he moved it up north.
So they play at the Aliu Mahama Stadium.
So Karela is Tamale.
Yes. Now.
They have a stadium?
Yes.
Or this is a public stadium?
No, they play at the Aliu
They play
Mahama.
at the Aliu.
They used to be at the AstroTurf in Nalerugu. But
So
they've
maybe
moved.
we should use our MPs to do such things. Maybe that's the way
if
to go.
if they have
maybe that's the way to go.
No, if they have a genuine interest and understanding, you see, and that is why you don't have so many of them, and those who have the interest are investors, which is why we are able to mention the name. So Amewu has a genuine interest, so he's an investor in it. Outside of the politics, he's an investor because there's even a second tier team to what Hohoe has. Bafwewa with Inswatre and now KC Academy.
Okay.
So he has that. Then Haruna with Steadfast and Karela now. I'm sure there are a couple of others in the lower divisions. But the point is, if you look at how aspiring MPs, incumbents use football and sports in general when it gets to elections, as if they are the greatest lovers of sports, and after that simply ignore and also have bought into the whole astroturf economy, you know, as the saving grace of sports development without even understanding what it needs to go with. Okay, we've had several conversations about the pluses and minuses. I'll read you something. Graphic Online. Aspiring MP organizes month-long football gala to tap talent and create youth jobs. Ghanaian Times. Ladade Kotopon MP launches second Nyawo Pakpa football tourney.
So it's becoming very popular.
Tempane MP launches Lydia League 2024. Upper West Achim MP organizes Adum Easter Gala.
Oh,
Achim
I look like
Swedro MP to organize football gala for youth.
So these are all one-offs.
This one, Achim Swedro, Kennedy Senya Akun did his. This weekend, Kozi did hers.
Obia Yebi.
Yeah, Kozi was at Jingano from 8 AstroTurf to do
Community matches.
Yeah, 8 teams in the community to vie. We had Esla.
What level? Under what?
Oh, General. Yes, we had Esla do one in the Ablekuma West constituency as well. I played 10 minutes in that.
Oh, you played? Not your players, you yourself.
Oh, I went to play. My
exhibition.
I went to represent.
By the way, in your day, what were you? Skimmer, defender?
My proper position was a goalkeeper. It's just I know how to play. Yeah, but I was a goalkeeper.
If we are playing like our
I'm a number 10.
Oh, you
skimmer.
Don't
work with this.
You can make things happen.
Come on. One time through pass. But what in my goalkeeping days, I was called Chilave.
Which is funny because I used to play with Ashilton.
You used to play out.
I used to be a goalkeeper too.
You used to play with your feet.
Oh, Chilave.
Before Chilave came.
Yeah, no, I was named after Chilave by my Victor Kwesin, then Asprilla. But the point I'm making largely is we need our politicians to understand that, look, they like to just show up when when it's elections because it's fashionable. After that, they walk away without contributing anything. Most of these MPs who are organizing tournaments, if we ask them, which coast team have you bought water for before? They will tell, they don't even know the coast teams. But when they are running commentary at these tournaments, you hear the people running the commentary talk about how the MP, this tournament is where the players will be developed. It is not this one-off gala that develops players. Player development takes years. It takes a lot of things. It takes infrastructure. So when we engage the MPs, for instance, with the astroturfs that they are building, and we say it's leading to a loss of access. It's creating new access, but it creates new access for people who are not necessarily interested in football. Because the main agenda for the astroturfs was development of football. So I'll give you a typical example. So Karikari Park, wow, the very famous Karikari Park, used to be Sakura, but very famous, produces a lot of players. A lot of teams train on it. Then an astroturf project comes up, which is good, according to the government. So they're putting up the astroturf, right? What you now have is a situation where there is a conundrum for the teams. They don't have anywhere to train. For them, it's their livelihood. You've given them a facility, right? But they don't have access to the facility because they can't train every day. Now, the reality also is if they train every day, the facility will deteriorate. But there's no alternative space that has been created for those people to go. So when the MP is engaging, the MP will tout, oh, I have put up an astroturf. It is visible.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't help.
it hasn't solved any problem because the people who are actually doing the development, the MP's concept of what development is that I've put up the astroturf without considering the fact that one, you've removed the people whose business it is from where they carry out their day-to-day. They don't have anywhere to go. Two, the development, again, as I've always told you, is in the process of the training of these kids. Where will they train now? Where will they play? Okay, so these things coming up, I just hope that, well, it's not hope, I wish that more of them paid attention to the people who actually know what these things are about.
Are there many people who actually know what these things are about?
I think they just don't like to listen and like to see the project.
So
I'll tell you
your point
something.
is that politics has money, but if they don't channel it well, they will not solve the problem.
They're not
They'll
solving a
just waste
problem. So I'll give you another example. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports is putting up 12 astroturfs. I train at Dansoman Kifet.
Yeah.
So the ministry has partnered up with Dansoman Kifet to put up an astroturf. It's okay, right? But here's the thing. Where do I train now? Reggae trains on the same pitch. Where does he train now? So we have to move to somewhere else to train, right? There are 4 or 5 teams there. Where will we play matches? Now this thing happens, this park will be ready maybe for say February or March. When it's ready, how many times will I get to train on it? I might not. Will I get a chance to play match? Perhaps. Okay. But if I look at what I had before and what this thing, although beautiful, is, I lose. I don't win. So a lot of times, you might have a team that wants to play a game, for instance. So your team has a game. You show up and they tell you that, oh, the park has been rented for a funeral.
Or they are doing
a fun
so
something.
that we couldn't train.
So that day, it means that all football activities come to a halt.
Even though we have a match next week.
Exactly. No, even it's a match day.
Oh Lord.
We've had situations where there have been match days competing with funerals. Yeah. So
the multi-purpose astroturf is not a football solution.
It's not a football solution in
It's
the
a
end.
community
It's
solution.
a community solution.
But it's not a football
It's
solution.
not a football solution.
So it doesn't replace community
It
development.
does exactly. Okay, and that is what we've always wanted them to understand. That if you are coming in, which is why when you talk about grass, for instance, it would have made more sense. Okay,
But you
because
say grass is expensive, right?
it's expensive, but it can be done. So, for instance, why does Insawam have so many astroturfs? Insawam, it's green.
How many do they have?
Oh, quite a few. I'm not on press constituency. They have quite a few astroturfs there. Oh.
With all the grass they have.
In Insawam, why do they have so many astroturfs? In Insawam, you understand? And what makes it even worse is, Bernard, if you are building the thing, build it to size. Build it to size. Because
there's no standardization in the
because
size.
you are taking, you see, here's the thing. If you come and take a Sakura Park, people like to criticize, but the Sakura Park will have size. It means a standard.
We
You
know
can
the
get
length.
you can get the clear demarcation of what a standard football pitch is supposed to look like. They take away these things and end up building for you 8-a-side parks. So if there was a Division 2 team in your area that was playing on the Madina Zongo pitch, you sacked that Division 2 team from the Madina Zongo pitch now because they had an 11-a-side pitch that was available to them. You've put up an astroturf that is 8-a-side. So what do they have to do? It means they have to find a new venue. That means whoever is running that team has to find resources to move the team from there, perhaps pay rent,
So are you calling for standardization of even astroturf, if that's what we are supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm saying if you're doing it, then do it well. And try and solve the problems properly. At the moment, it's a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them are doing it just because it's a visible project that they can point to, one. And two, I think everybody just got carried away by, the astroturf thing. I'm tired of saying I'm not a fan of astroturf. It's the new norm for them. Fine. Okay, but it must make more sense.
We'll take a break and wrap this up.